think yoga is very is safe, but all these have mantras. And what are mantras? These are rapid repetition of series of words. Nama namaskar, namaskar. Hail Mary, that's why I told you it is very, very dangerous if you sing one phrase of the song. Hallelujah, 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 and you sing it for an whole hour. You're making a mantra. Series of words or sounds. You know rock music. They just do one bang and they do one note. Have you ever heard that really, that rock music when it becomes so irritating? Bang, 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 bang. And they do that kind of thing. I have a neighbor who has it. Sometimes I have to call the Holy Spirit to stop it. Because it becomes so bad and it irritates you into opening doors as well. So sounds, they do repetitive sounds. And it has two purposes. What are the two purposes? The first is to produce a mystical state, which is actually a trance. So a trance comes in when you do what? When you repeat something and you repeat something and you repeat something. That is the first one. So in this state, the mind is blanked out. As you sing one phrase, that's why it's dangerous. That's why I told you sometimes you go in the fridge. Sometimes you go into other things when you're singing, you think you're worshiping the Lord. But your thoughts go home. Why? Because you're singing a song that is repetitive and you are not in the song. You're just singing because it's being played or it's being sung by the choir. You just go along with it. You don't sing a new song to the Lord. That way you will be easily derailed into a mantra. And so this in turn places a person into direct contact with the spirit world. It puts you directly in contact with the spirit world. Now second, what the mantra is, the second thing is supposed to actually embody a spiritual being. As the words are spoken, the being becomes into existence and enters the person using that mantra. That's why even karate has a problem, because they are told to say something, and as they move, you don't know your positioning and your things will give a direct, access for that personality to come in. And when it enters using that mantra. So mantras are a direct doorway opening up a person to the entrance of demons. So these are syllables. You can say syllables, they can be words or phrases which, when repeated in meditation, will bring the individual to a higher state of consciousness. You start feeling things moving around you. This is one they say in yoga, you feel calm and you feel the aura. They call it the environment changes. That is demonic. That is the level when this thing is getting in. That is why it is not easy to witness to people who use beads. So here, when this rapid repetition does it, I said it blanks you out, blanks out your mind. And as you understand this mechanism, you begin to realize the importance of that frequented phrases and choruses of, I said, the rock music. This is the same with the rosary. And you remember, there's one time I told you here, the Lord told us not to do repetitive prayers. You remember that teaching? He told us when you go to pray, what you do, you close yourself in and you speak to the Father. He said, don't do those repetitive prayers as pagans do. So these are unacceptable, because he knew that is the way you can open up for these demons to come in. So in prayers we have the mala. You know the mala, this is used by Muslims. M-A-L-A. Is a string of beads used in reciting the mantra. And the mantra phase of prayer is repeated for each bead. You see them sitting somewhere and they're going around. They are not there. You might see a person sitting there, but the mind is gone. Now the rosary also is a string of prayer beads. You've seen them, you're going to see them again. And they're used in Roman Catholicism, and they pray to, they Hail Mary. What is that? They worship Mary. When you say Hail Mary, hail is worship. And it is repeated for each small bead. And then we have a small one. And then you go back into Hail Marys. Some of you done this before? I've done it. This is all repetitive things. Repetitive beads. And most times they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Hail Marys before you get a single, and then you go back to another. So it is important to understand that these basic concepts, these basic things we do not understand what we're doing, but we are bringing in the control of the devil to take over. And sometimes we even use candles. Now the candle blanks out somebody completely. The candle opens up your spirit to the demon. Just comes direct into your other faculty of your mind and blocks you off, and then opens you out for the devil to come in. And believe me, we are going to see somebody here. This is an illustration of the candle, what the candle does. That is another symbol of the devil up there, now entering through the light of the candle. We are going to see one of the preachers now as we close. He had a Good Friday, moreover, a Good Friday candle lit. Good Friday candle lit service. So what does that mean? First of all, the Lord did not die on Good Friday. And he knows because he was born there. So what the candle does, it opens up your mind for the demons now to move in and manipulate you. Because once you look into that light, it just goes, down.
In the Holy of Holies, or just outside, I think, didn't they have candles?
No, it was a menorah.
Menorah.
Okay. You know how it looks like? It had a wick. It's not a candle, as you know the candles.
Okay.
They would light it with a torch. The oil will come into a wick. Have you ever seen these lanterns? That's how the menorah used to be. And they would bring a stick, an oil, a big stick, log of fire, and they would light them. And they would light them.
It's not good to buy these candles for essence, just to give smell.
You have to be very careful what you're buying and where you're buying them. Most of them are dedicated with they have placed demons on them.